Hi, hello, how are you? My name is Alex, the Bareback Contessa, and I'm here to help you fill your home with things and people that you love. Today, I want to talk about 5 free things that you can do in your home to jumpstart your design process. One of the most common questions I get from clients is, where do I start? They just moved into a new home, or they've been somewhere for a while and they've never put any personal touches in there. But getting started is so tricky when there are so many things that you could do. Where do you even start? I think that too often we try to bite off more than we can chew. When you sit down to decorate your living room, you're thinking of the room as a whole rather than all of the little components that come together to make up the room. I advocate for splitting the room into bite-sized, manageable chunks in the form of vignettes. Now, what is a vignette? A vignette is just like a little styled moment. It is a corner of a room. It is taking some time to decorate your dresser. It is putting your books on a shelf. It is one manageable bite-sized chunk that is an easy win. And when we find easy wins, we are that much more motivated to decorate the rest of our home. So without further ado, here are 5 easy wins that you can try in your home today. The first is to hang art. If your walls are bare, it's no wonder you don't feel like you live there. One of the easiest ways to feel at home is to put some art up on the wall. I know that we're often intimidated by placement and the thought of having to repair holes if we move things, but it is so easy to fix a nail hole that you can't let that get in the way of decorating. Now, I love a collected feel, especially in a gallery wall. I love adding pieces over time, changing things out, and I don't necessarily need a theme across my art. But if you would like your art to feel more cohesive, try to pick pieces that have one common color. So maybe everything in the gallery wall has a bit of blue in it, or every piece of art has some green or red. But by having that one color across everything on the wall, it will make it feel more cohesive. The same can be said for frame colors, having all black frames or all white or all gold in different styles, preferably. But having all of the frames the same color will make your gallery wall feel more cohesive. Start from the center of your gallery wall with one focal piece and then work outwards. Hang your biggest items first and then fill in with the smaller frames from there. So just hanging your art with no more than 2 inches on any side of the frame so that it really reads as a gallery wall. I prefer closer to 1 inch. But again, I'm not too precious about it. The next thing I want you to try is styling the top of a dresser, styling the top of a mantle, styling some surface in your home. I think dressers especially can become a dumping ground of items. Intentionally styling it, putting some trays for the things you know you're going to set there, having some candles, a lamp. Hi, kitty. Styling a dresser or a mantle or any surface, I like to create a triangle. So I like to hang a big piece of art or a mirror or something on the wall in the middle to create that high point, and then 2 balancing objects on either side. This can be a lamp, this can be a vase, this can be some candles, but something on either side to balance and create that triangle shape. When you're finding items to create that triangle, try to group items in groups of 3. There is something about odd numbers that feel much more satisfying than even numbers when we're styling. So thinking of 1 item, 3 items, or even 5 items in one cluster is going to read as 1 item. When I'm creating a group of 3, I like to find something shorter and rounder and then something in the middle. This could be a tall candle, a small bud vase, and a decorative object or a sculpture. The most important part of this styling is trial and error. It's going to take some time to find the grouping of items that feels good and feels right. Play around with it. Hey, leave that alone. Play around with those groupings until something feels right. It's going to take some time, but you're going to learn a lot in the process. My bonus tip for you is if you have a lot of one kind of item, let's say perfume bottles or spices in the kitchen or olive oils and vinegars, clustering like items together on one tray or a cutting board on top, or even on top of a stack of books, your eye will read that as one item rather than many different ones. Your eye will read that as one cohesive object rather than a collection of tiny items, and it will feel less cluttered. All right, the next thing I want you to do is find your drop zones. Drop zones are those areas of our home where items and clutter tend to gather. So right by the front door, wherever you drop your keys or your bag and your shoes, that's a drop zone. If maybe in your bedroom, there's a pile of clothes that wind up on the floor, that's a drop zone. Those areas where clutter naturally gathers is where we need to implement some organization solutions to feel a little bit less cluttered and messy. So right by your front door where you drop your keys and your wallet and your phone, set a little tray or a dish so that all of those items can be gathered together. Wherever your clothes tend to gather in the bedroom, maybe you need to hang a hook or move your hamper there. When we organize with our drop zones rather than against them, our homes will feel more organized and cleaner for longer. Taking some time to identify those drop zones and think about potential solutions is a great step forward towards the design and function of your home. Now, this next suggestion might take a little bit more work, but I think sometimes it's important to get a fresh perspective on our space. And a great way to do that is by rearranging some furniture. Move your sofa from one wall and float it in the middle of the living room. Move the accent chair and reading nook to a different corner. Try out some different layouts in the space to see what feels good and what doesn't. You might wind up right back where you started, but by taking the time to look at your space through new eyes, you might feel reinvigorated and re-inspired to continue decorating and continue styling and make the space more functional for you overall. My last suggestion is to analyze the needs of your home. Now, this is going to take some more introspection, and you're going to have to give yourself some tough love and honesty. I want you to take some time and go through your home. Think about the pieces of furniture that you have now and whether they are meeting your needs. How do you really need your space to function for you? Do you need a devoted office space, or is a desk in the living room, will that suffice? Do you need a big dining table to host big dinner parties and events, or is that just aspirational thinking? It's really important, especially in these early stages of living in our homes, to think about our true selves and not give in to the aspirational selves. While there should be some aspiration in our space, we need to be really honest about how our home needs to function for us. From there, come up with a list of needs and nice to haves for your home. Those needs are the pieces that you absolutely need to bring in for your home to function. For me, I knew first thing I needed a kitchen island. It didn't really matter what it looked like, but I had absolutely zero counter space. So I knew I needed to bring in a kitchen island before I could really do anything. Once you identify those needs for your home, you can better prioritize projects and action steps moving forward. If you know you need a desk or you know you need a dining table, spend some time on Facebook Marketplace to bring those in. This is where I really advocate for bringing in some placeholder pieces. This is something that you find secondhand that isn't your dream piece of furniture, but is something that will allow you to function in the space so you can intentionally find the right piece for your home. If you have a placeholder dining table or a placeholder sofa, you won't feel so caught up in the trends and in what you're seeing online and wind up wasting more money in the long run. You can really wait until you find the right item for your home and your family and your lifestyle. And that's it. Those are 5 free projects to try in your home today to jumpstart your design journey. And if you're still struggling with where to start, don't worry. Book a free discovery call with me today at the link down below. If you got anything out of this video, please subscribe and give it a thumbs up and send this to one person who you think could get something out of this. I'm Alex, and I'll see you back here next week. Bye.